I think today or tomorrow is National Rotisserie Chicken Day. At least today or tomorrow. I caught the tail end of it on the news.
For your email.
It's, we're on.
All right, we're at the public hearing of the Mayor Board and Aldermen, June 2nd, 2015. And I'm going to now turn it over to Bruce. Bruce?
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight we have one item on the agenda for the public hearing. It's ordinance 2015-10, an ordinance of the City of Laverne, Tennessee, adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2015 through June 30, 2016. The legal ad for the budget was in the newspaper on Friday, May 22nd, 2015, announcing the public hearing. At this time, we'll take any comments regarding the budget ordinance, the tax rate ordinance. If anybody would like to speak, please approach the podium and say what you'd like. Once again, this is your opportunity to speak on the budget ordinance for the next fiscal year, 2015-16. Mayor, seeing nobody approach the podium to speak, I'll declare the public hearing closed for this item. Turn it back over to you.
No other business. I'll call this public hearing adjourned. I ain't heard it. It's moving. Citizens' comment for June 2nd, 2015. Go ahead and take it.
Thank you, Mayor Waldron. We do have one speaker signed up tonight. When you approach the lectern, please address the board. State your name and your address. You'll have 3 minutes to talk, and once your time is up, Police Chief Walker will let you know. Our first speaker is Ronaldo Colazzo.
My name is Ray Colazzo. I live at 612 Pleasant Hill Drive. I'm come here to bring to your attention the sorry and disgusted property that's behind my house at 606 Blakemore Drive. Property has 10 dogs, trees, shrubs, and everything growing all over the neighborhood. I have pictures. If you want to see them, I'll be more than glad to pass it to you. I brought this to the board's attention, not to the board, but to the city in March. Coach goes out there, they look at the property, they said, we'll take care of it. We'll look into it. I get an email today forwarded to me from Mr. Bruce Richardson, and I will be embarrassed to read that email to anybody, but because it clearly says that the Coast Department can do nothing about it because the judge in this city says you don't have any authority to enforce any codes. If you cannot enforce codes, then why do we have a Coast Department? Why are we paying these people $14, $15, $18, and $20 an hour to do nothing? Okay? We still have rodents, we still have animal feces, we have nuisance, we have multiple violations, and nobody does anything. But at the same token, when I got into trouble for city violations 14 years ago, this city had me arrested. So you have a problem coming. You have a violation of the Fourth Amendment, which is equal treatment and equal protection, cloth. If you're going to enforce the laws against me, then enforce it against every citizen of this community, not just me. I try to be peaceful and rational about this, but someone evidently is either passing misinformation or is telling me the truth. The truth is, if they don't have any authority, then the board should designate the authority to the Coach Department to enforce the law. If you can't do that, then we have a problem. Because I will bring all the trash cans to the neighborhood, put it right in front of the street, let maggots and bugs and everything grow through it, and then you can't do nothing to me. Because if you can't do nothing to the lady behind me, you can't do nothing to me. If I decide to build without a coach permit, you can't do nothing to me because you can't enforce the coach laws. Or do we have selected enforcements of law in the city? That's all I'm going to say. I still got 42 seconds to answer any questions anybody wants to know about it. No takers? Be warned. This is your early warning. If you do not take care of the proper problems that we're having, then I will pursue the issue in another court venue. I'm prepared to do so. I will not go away. Treat me equal or no less than nobody else in this city. Enforce the rules to everyone in this community, not just selective enforcements of the rules.
Thank you. That's the only speaker we have.
Thank you for your comments. No more on the agenda for the comments. I'll call this citizens' comments closed. Welcome, everybody. I've got a bad head cold, but if everybody bear with me, I'll try to work through this thing best I can. We're here at the Mayor and Aldermen Meeting, June 2nd, 2015, regular meeting. And I'm going to call this meeting to order. And we have a quorum. I have the prayer. Alderman Jones has got the Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody stand, do the prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, oh great God, for giving us your Son, Jesus. Lord, you sent your Son so we could have a path back to you. Thank you for allowing us to be free and to choose. We pray for our men and women that is serving our country. We pray prayers go out to the Smith and the Brown family for their loss. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number one, we need to approve our minutes. Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second? Second. Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. No one approved. Moving on to number two, it's apartment reports. Fire.
Good evening, Board of Mayor and Alderman. I'm filling in for Ricky tonight, and he and Chris are in Columbus, Ohio, doing the final inspection on our third quint. I'm not going to go over it line by line. As you can see, it's displayed 2 structure fires this month. Also, we made a promotion last couple of weeks. We got a brand new lieutenant, Lieutenant John Rutledge. He took the helm this past Saturday morning at 6 a.m. on his shift. Any questions? You should have everything in your handouts.
Thank you, Chief. Next will be police.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, you have the reports in front of you. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Chief.
One thing I want to tell you is that Carry the Load was awesome. We had a really good crowd this year, and once again, they had a lot to say, and we wound up on their national website this year. But we had one unique young man that lives here in the city of Laverne who happens to be a World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War veteran. And it was a pleasure to let him ride in my vehicle in the front seat, because I finally found somebody that can talk as much as I can, and he was He was a lot of fun. So that gives you an idea of some of the folks that we have in our community, and that's the reason we do what we do. I can't remember now.
Was it Kenneth Mountain?
No. NBC News actually interviewed him. They were here, and they actually interviewed him.
There ain't many people in Laverne that was from the World War II.
There's not many World War II veterans left, period, and I'd say Alderman Jones could tell us how many that we're losing each day, because the majority of them that are still here are older than my daddy, and Daddy will be 89 July the 23rd. But there aren't many of those left. So that was the great thing about it. Thank you.
I have a question, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Do you know or not if NBC is going to have snippets of the stop here in Laverne or if it's going to be on YouTube or anything?
There was a YouTube post on the Carry the Load website that was a brief part of Laverne that showed Smyrna actually bringing them to us.
Okay.
And us picking them up and then coming on in and showing them coming through out front here. They didn't show much of the happenings, just shots, quick shots here and there. But for Laverne being here the fourth time and the fourth time we were on their national website, that's kind of cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Hey, Alderman Jones, real quick, I talked to the guy, and he said that he'd never seen that flag set up like that anywhere else in the nation, and that he could just about guarantee that at least that was gonna get on there when they did air it. I don't know, but he did say that, so he was very, very happy with that.
They did have them as they were coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looked good.
Next code.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. The monthly report for May 2015 is as follows. Single-family dwellings, there were 0. 2 commercial permits, one of which we're all grateful for. 30 miscellaneous, 6 signs, 1 grading permit, 4 others to include additions and remodels. 2 commercial plan review for a total of 43 permits, valuing at $8.5 million for the month of May. Plumbing permits, there were 1 single family, 2 commercial. Mechanical, there were 1 single family, 2 commercial. Tall grass, obviously, as you can see on the report, that has increased tremendously over the last month. There were 322 complaints called in for tall grass, 11 for junk cars in the yard, and 46 others. Building inspections for the month were 165. Commercial and fire inspections for the month, there were 31 for a total of 217 on the year. Impact fees this month were pretty substantial. Monthly revenue with impact fees was $247,000 for a year-to-date total of $332,254. Total number of single-family permits issued year-to-date have been 8. Total number of single-family permits issued during the same time period last year were 35. Total number of all permits this year-to-date have been 129. Anyone have questions? No? Thank you,
Only thing I
folks.
might add is the burnt house is finally tore down.
598,
Hallelujah.
598 is down. Yeah, I'll send out invitations for when the little party to be held out there, but it is down fortunately and finally. And I'd like to thank everyone involved in this community that has had a hand in helping get that done. That was our attorney's office was instrumental. Bruce, everyone was very instrumental in assisting getting that property taken care of. So I want to thank the neighbors for their patience. I know they were struggling with that daily and issues with them, and I know that they seemed like it was a never-ending process, but we had to do it the way that it was done in order for us to make sure that we were covered in every way, shape, form, and fashion. So 598 is thankfully on the ground.
I know my phone has calmed down.
Mine has too, Mayor. Thank you.
Next, Park and Rec.
Evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. There are our numbers for the month. We got an extremely busy month coming up, too. We've got summer camp starting on Monday. We've had 18 sign-ups so far. We had 26 help desk tickets and 152 man-hours and 8 overtime for the carry the load, and estimated city savings of $27.60. And Garland, did anybody contact you? I think your mower's done. I think Randy got it put back together. Did he? Okay, all right. I didn't know if he had or not. We have summer camp starting on Monday, then June 19th through 21st, we have a BPA state tournament at the park, which is enormous. That's huge. Let's pray that the rain stays away. That's been a real issue with us here lately. June 26th through 28th, the second BPA state tournament. So there's going to be a lot of folks in the park for the next couple of weeks. And we have Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting Monday, June 15th at 6 p.m. And then the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee meeting will be Thursday, June 18th at 4 p.m. Any questions?
Had a lot of calls about the Veterans Park. We don't have no flags up there. I got a call from Carol Cook, and with Jim Tracy's help, they secured the flags that was going to be this flag that flew out, the flagging that's flying over the Capitol. So we were promised them. They got 3 different sizes, so they said just tell them what size we need, and we'll get the flags that flew on the state capitol.
Well, speaking to that, also we've had Jason Cole and also Elizabeth Buck from Box 100 has contacted me with possible people who can help with the whole memorial thing and the brick wall. There's a company called Bricks or Us that will do the bricks engraved for $19, and they said if you can find them any cheaper, they will beat that price. So that so far looks pretty promising, but we'll gather all the information to decide which way to go with it. But yeah, it looks like it's starting to come together. There's a lot of involvement, a lot of community involvement. That's a great thing. That's what we need.
We already got the flags.
Okay, I need to decide what we need to figure out. I say we don't go any less than a 20-foot pole. So
they said they had 3 sizes and we could have any size we wanted.
Well, we'll see which one fits the best, and we'll tell them thank you.
Thank you, sir. Right. Moving on to finance, Phyllis.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Alderman. Tonight's financial report is through the end of April, which is 10 months into our fiscal year. We only have 2 months left. For the general fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $5.7 million. Local sales tax we've collected right at $4.4 million. That's $697,000 better than budget and $759,000 better than prior year. State street aid expenses have exceeded revenues by approximately $23,000. In our stormwater fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $334,000. And in our water sewer fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $2 million. Second page represents our various balances in our bank accounts. Third page represents a comparison to prior year. Our revenues are up about $7 million. Of course, about 6 of that is from the bond issue, and our expenses are up about $2 million. In our water sewer fund, revenues are up about $624,000. Expenses are down about $89,000, and tap fees are up about $41,000 over prior year. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, Phyllis. Moving on to the library. Donna?
Mayor, Vice Mayor Alderman, good evening. For the month of May, there were 6,319 items checked out. We also checked out 159 ebooks and e-audios. We're very excited about that. The attendance in the library, 8,020, with an average per day of 334. We issued 135 new cards. There were 26 library programs, and the attendance was 1,851. The reason that attendance is so high, 3 of those programs were outreach programs. Our children's department went into the elementary schools to share information about our summer reading program. Our total computer users, 2,755. And our summer reading statistics to date, this includes Saturday, our kickoff, yesterday and today, we have 398 patrons signed up. So it has been busy in the library. Tonight, I just want to share a few of our upcoming programs. Of course, we are knee-deep and cape-deep because we are superheroes this summer in our superhero summer reading. Some of the things that are going on today, we had Bruce Amato, who was a magician. We're going to have a couple of more magicians this month. We're going to have Ken Carter and the Funny Dummy Show. This is a ventriloquist. We have a wildlife show coming up. The teens are going to be doing some superhero tote bags. They're doing tonight a superhero identity. They're making LED cuff bracelets. Just a lot of fun stuff going on. And for the adults, on Friday, it is National Donut Day. So come to the library between 9:30 and 11:30, and you can eat a donut and have a cup of coffee with us. On the 20th, Karen Patterson is going to do an archaeology program, and it's called Recycling in the Ancient World. I think that's going to be a very interesting subject. We will have our first family day on Saturday the 27th, and that's with Michael T., and that will be at 1:30 in the afternoon. Please stop by and get calendars and events. We would love to have you join us for the summer. Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Donna. Moving on to water treatment. Thomas?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, Bruce. What I have to present tonight is our summary of the month of April of this year. Our plant processed just over 68 million gallons of water and delivered a little over 70, and that's to make up between the reclaiming water from the membrane unit, which totaled out right about $9,500 we saved in the sewer fees going to Metro and put the water out for resale. Our flushing team visited 8 sites this month of April. What we were doing was prepping for the system tests. We're testing for all the byproducts. So there has some bottlenecks in the system, smaller lines, bigger lines, so we like to keep that area flowing. We had 0 new lines, 0 fixed lines for the month of April from our distribution. And our customer service, we handled 8 quality calls, which was 1 was a quality request and 7 were on the pressure side. Just kind of giving people a little bit of education about their pressure regulating valve mainly. We added in some of our maintenance highlights for the month. We had the raw meter, water meter that comes into the plant was being a little intermittent. It just quit working, it'd work, it'd quit working and working. So that was one of our bigger expenses for the month. And we put out everyone should have received their water quality reports and their water bills by now. They were out in the early month of May. We had I got 12 hours of outside training, did some lab quality and assurance training, and our maintenance for the month of April was right at $7,000, which puts us, our balance for a contract year is at $75,054. That's about all I have.
Any questions? Thank you, Thomas. Moving on to Public Works Department. Russell?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. This is for the month of May 2015. You see we had a total of 32 requests for pickups. We picked up 673 pickups at 48 loads, and that's 165,000. That's probably short about 50,000 because we hauled all day one day that they wasn't weighing it up in Murfreesboro. Had a total of 558 workhouse programs, 101 work orders, and the special projects for the month was the Blair Road project and the Stones River Road project, which was the 250 foot of guardrail. We had to dump about 40 loads of material in there because it was straight down. The other guardrails was only, some of them wasn't in but a foot or so, and I think it got to be in about 4 foot. But it all worked out. For the fleet department, we had a total of 26 repairs, 20 in-house and 6 out, 20 oil changes, all of them in-house. Just tires and brakes. They've been pretty busy this month. Anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Only I've got tons of calls on Blair Road, Vineyard, back there, that I don't think we've done anything in the last 6 months that pleased them over there as much. It looks good. I went by there.
Okay, now I
Y'all
want
done
to
a great job.
thank Water and Sewer for their help on it, Parks and Rec, Fleet Department, whoever I could get to come out there.
Y'all
They
done a
come
great
out-
job.
They come out and helped us
It
when we
was
got it.
long overdue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Utility Department.
Mayor Alderman, good afternoon. For the month of May 2015, the Water Department, we had a total of 83 work orders, 3 new meter sets, answered 152 Tennessee 1 calls, had 2 mainline breaks. Both of those was after hours, and I'd like to say thank you to Box 100 because they come out on a Saturday around noon on Old Nashville Highway and directed traffic for us. That was a lot of help there. Gallons of water not sold, estimated 501,000 roughly. 500,000 of that was due to the Sanders Steel Tank project. We had to get it down. We was able to drain it halfway by usage, and once we got it halfway, we had to drain the rest ourselves so they could start the work on that tank. Fire hydrant inspections and repair, there were 7 with a total of 50 hours overtime. On down to sewer, we had 101 total work orders, 55 service calls, 46 pump station. Final grinder pump inspections were 2. We rebuilt 6 grinder pumps in-house. We repaired 2 manholes with a total of 33 hours overtime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Human Resources.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. Here is the report for Human Resources. We had 2 external jobs posted with 110 applicants, 0 actual new hires, 3 internal jobs posted with 13 applicants, 1 employee was promoted, and we had a total of 56 NeoGov job interest cards. Employee resignations, we had 1 listed, but technically we have 2. 1 person resigned in April, but it was effective May 1st. 0 terminations. We had 3 workers' compensation claims, 2 liability claims. There were 110 care here appointments with 4 no-shows, 294 care here total enrollments, and we had 0 short-term disability claims as well as 0 long-term disability applications. Total claim dollars for the month, $330,325. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're moving on to old business. Number 3, second reading ordinance 2015-06, an ordinance to amend Title 12, Chapter 6, Section 12-602 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding modifications to the residential code. These are the water sprinklers. Motion to approve or deny?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
They got a second. We're going to do a roll call. Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green? Alderman Brown?
Aye.
Alderman Broker?
No.
No. And I say aye. Motion carries. Moving on, number 4, second reading, ordinance 2015-10, ordinance of the City of Laverne, Tennessee, adopting an annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2015 through June 30th, 2016.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second. Got a second? Let's do a roll call on it. Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green? Aye. Alderman Jones?
Aye.
And I say aye. Motion. This ordinance passes. And number 5, Bruce, you want to explain number 5?
Yes, sir. This is second reading of an ordinance to amend our zoning ordinance. Unfortunately, we did not get the public hearing scheduled for this item, so we are requesting that this item be deferred until the next meeting in July.
Motion to defer.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call on this one too. Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green? Alderman Brown?
Aye.
Alderman Broker?
Aye.
I say aye. So a motion approves to defer it. Moving to number 6, that's the consent agenda items. This was discussed in the workshop. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second.
I second.
Got a second, let's do a roll call. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Broker.
Aye.
I say aye. Motion, consent agenda passes. Moving down to new business. Appoint or remove board members. Number 1, Greenway Advisory Committee. Bruce, you want to explain this one?
Yes, sir. We have 2 terms that expired May the 31st. The terms were for Ken Cowan and Doug Smith. We did contact both of the members, and Ken Cowan has moved to Smyrna, so he really needs to be removed. And then Doug Smith would like to remain on the committee. We have been advertising these positions on Channel 3, but we've not received any other applications. So the only applicant that we have currently is Doug Smith for reappointment and remove Ken Cowan.
Motion to approve Doug Smith.
Motion been made to approve Doug Smith. Need a second?
Second.
Second. Let's do a roll call on this one too. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
I vote aye. He's appointed. It's approved. B, Park and Rec Advisory Committee, 2 terms expired. Bruce, you want to explain this one?
Yes, sir. Like you said, there are 2 terms that expired at the end of May, Jason Cole and Robert Simon. We did contact both members, and they both wanted to stay on the committee. We did also receive 1 new application from Debbie Hewen.
Motion to reappoint Bob Simon, Jason Cole.
Got a motion to appoint Bob Simon, reappoint Bob Simon and Jason Cole. Need a second? Second by Sherry Green. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Nay.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
I have a question. Should we be doing both of these, or should these be done individually?
Well, the motion was to do both, so that's the motion that's on the table.
No.
No. And I say no. So we need a new motion on the table. Look for a motion to appoint board members to the Park and Rec Advisory Committee. Need a motion?
I make a motion for Robert Simon and Debbie Hewen to be appointed to the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee.
Need a second?
Second.
I have some discussion.
Okay.
I again just want to put my objection again to this board removing members in good standing. Both of those, or the gentleman that has been removed or will be removed, has been almost perfect attendance. Big part of what we've done the last 4 years. So I just want to voice my objection as far as that. It has nothing to do with any other applicant. I just believe that we've always done it, and we've done it, this board has done it. If someone has to remain and they were a member in good standing, we always vote, we have voted them back. And again, I just want to voice that at this time.
We got a motion and a second.
I'd like to rebut the, I'd like to make a rebuttal on that. My reason for voting nay is because in this, with a public forum, I feel the individuals, we have a public relations officer who would have pertinent information If the individual's going on a public television site and giving erroneous information and representation of the city, I think that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be stifled. So therefore, that's why I'm voting.
Just for the record, would you mind pointing out what was erroneous?
Okay. On the date in question, I wrote Channel 2 and the reporter Stephanie Langston and asked for input on this situation. It was April 10th. The story came out that Mr. Cole had stated that the community wanted the farmers market. He had researched it, which is true. He had researched the location. He had said that it would be that the vendors had wanted it, the community wanted it, and it was in a perfect location over on Old Nashville Highway with the space to expand. And it was agreed to by yourself and the rest of the board that that was not a good location. Nashville Highway is not a good location for anyone to be coming into and trying to stop and turn into that. Had there been a little bit more research done on it, I'm sure that the compromise, along with Mr. Cole in attendance with it or with having knowledge of it, would have known something about the library and the offer by the director of the library to have it in that location, which is a much safer and much more convenient location.
Well, and that's fair. This is what I'll say. Parks and Rec as a whole, the advisory committee had worked on it for close to 2 years, brought it to this board on 3 separate occasions, this board 2 separate occasions, previous board another occasion, and it was an area that we were asked to kind of zero in on or was told to. So I'm thrilled that the library is taking it over. I'm thrilled for our residents that we're going to have this. However, I don't know that was the default of any particular member. That was something that our Parks and Rec Advisory, again with the approval of this board, of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, we kind of zeroed in on that location. So I don't believe that that was anything erroneous. That was something that we had worked on collectively for, again, close to 2 years.
No other discussion? We're ready we'll do a roll call. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Broker.
No.
And I vote aye. Bob Simon and Debbie Hugan appointed. Number 8, moving on to number 8, first reading, ordinance 2015-12, or an ordinance to amend Title 18, Chapter 4, Section 18-401 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding the water and sewer rates. Bruce?
Yes, sir. This ordinance is based on the MTAS study and the recommendations that were made at Thursday's workshop. Essentially, the rates would stay the same starting July the 1st, and then next year, instead of a 3 and 6% increase this year, they will stay the same. Next year, instead of a 3 and 6% increase, there'll be a 2% and 2% for water and sewer. And then July of 17, we're looking at a 2% increase for both water and sewer. And then currently scheduled for July of 2018 and 19, we don't have any proposed increases in there at this time. If this is approved, it'll become effective July the 1st of this year.
If I understand right, we're doing away with the 3 and 6 this year, going to nothing. No increase.
Correct.
Then, was it 16, 17, we're going away from the 3 or 6 and dropping to a 2 and 2?
Yes, sir.
And then the same the following year, that'd be 17, 18.
July of 17, correct.
Any questions on first reading of ordinance 2015-12? We'll do a roll call.
Need a motion first.
Huh?
Need a motion.
Need a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
Second. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
I say aye. The ordinance on first reading passes. Number 9, first reading ordinance 2015-13, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year general fund budget.
Motion to approve.
This is something we do each year. Need a motion to approve or deny this ordinance.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Need a second? Second. Let's do a roll call. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Broker.
Aye.
I say aye. Number 9, ordinance 2015-3, first reading, it passes. Number 10, first reading ordinance 2015-14, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2014-2015 senior citizen fund budget. Something that we usually do every year. Need a motion to approve the ordinance 2015-14. Need a second?
I second.
Got a second? We'll do another roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
I vote aye. First reading ordinance 2015-14 passes. First reading. Number 11, first reading ordinance 2015-15, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2014-15 grant fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second.
Second.
Second, we'll do another roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
I say aye. Number 11, first reading ordinance 2015-15 passes. Number 12, first reading ordinance 2015-16, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2014-2015 street capital fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny.
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second. Got a second. Do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
I say aye. Number 12, first reading ordinance 2015-16 passes. First reading. Number 13, first reading ordinance 2015-17, an ordinance to amend the City of Laverne zoning ordinance to change the official zoning map for tax map 140, Group 8, Parcel 39, consisting of approximately 0.3 acres located at 1501 Piercy Street, from a R2 minimum density residential zoning district to a I1 light industrial zoning district. Received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission. Now, this is first reading. Need a motion to approve or deny on first reading. Ordinance 2015-17.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Need a second.
I second.
Got a second? Do a roll call. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Broker.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. I say aye on first reading. First reading ordinance 2015-17 passes first reading. Number 14, a resolution. A resolution 2015-03, a resolution to approve rules and regulations for the Laverne Farmers Market.
Motion to approve.
Motion made to approve. Need a second?
I second.
Second. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
I say aye. 14, resolution 2015-03 passes. Down to number 15, resolution 2015-09. A resolution of the City of Laverne to appropriate funds for the nonprofit organizations. Need a motion to approve.
I'd like a discussion.
Bruce, do we need to wait till a second to?
Let's go ahead and get a motion and a second on the floor.
Need a
and we can
motion?
discuss.
I'll make the motion to approve. Need a second?
I second.
Second. Now open up for discussion.
It's actually not a discussion, it's just a question I wanted on it. Were we going to distinguish the 503, or what's actually nonprofits? We discussed that in the workshops, and somehow everything is mixed up.
We're going to do that for next year because of the way it's already built into the budget for this year. We'll reclassify those for next year's budget because I know there's also discussion about the way we do nonprofits that may change for next year. So that's staying the same for this year. We're looking at those changes for next.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Got a motion and a second on resolution 2015-09. Let's do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
I say aye. Resolution 2015-09 passes. Motion number 16, motion to enforce tax levy on court order delinquent property tax. It was discussed in the workshop. Need a motion to approve or deny the motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Need a second. Need a second. We'll do another roll call. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Broker.
Aye.
I say aye. Motion passes. Number 17, motion to approve amendment of the memorandum of understanding with the Regional Transportation Authority for the park and ride lot at Veterans Memorial Park. Need a motion to approve or deny?
I make a motion to deny.
Got a motion to deny. Need a second?
Second.
Got a second. Do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderwoman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
I say aye. Motion fails. No other business in front of us. We're down to
The motion's approved.
motion approved. Okay. The motion number 17 is approved to
deny the motion.
to deny.
Actually, yeah.
No other business in front of us. We're down to mayor and alderman comments. Start with Alderman Jones.
I'd just like to say, I'd like to further the congratulations to the first responders and Box 100 for their the ceremonies at the Faith Life Church on Sunday. It was a wonderful gathering, and I think it was a very nice presentation by everyone.
Alderwoman Brown.
Nothing.
Alderman Broker.
No, sir.
Vice Mayor Green. Iterate again, we lost Carrie Pearl Smith. She was kind of like an icon here for a long time with the chamber. And our thoughts and prayers goes out to her family. And thoughts and prayers go out to Kyle Brown's family for his lost uncle. And I want to thank Carol Cook and Jim Tracy for working hard to line us up some flags for the park, because I've had a lot of calls in a few months about excuse me, about people is upset about we don't have no flags. We got a flags, but we don't have no flagpole now. Maybe we can get that going on. And I want to congratulate Chief Walker. He was in the Daily News Journal, I think it was Sunday. And it's good to see positive press coming out of Laverne. And it was a good write-up. It was a wonderful picture. And I want to thank Chief Walker for putting us in the Daily News Journal in a positive way. And with that, I'll call this meeting adjourned.